Hello everyone, Major Lurker here, but I've decided to tell my story on Reddit to those who don't know me. I've scrolled Reddit for years now, but I've never actually set up an account, so here I am. I was 11 the first time I saw him. I had just gotten out of school and I remember being hot and tired but still excited because I had chore money in my backpack. Bucks and some change crumpled into my bag next to a mechanical pencil I found on the floor, that high-quality shit. That was enough for a happy meal. Nuggets, fries, a little toy I'd pretend I didn't care about, and a Sprite. Heaven. The McDonald's was only a few blocks from the school and up the hill from my apartment. My mom wasn't crazy about me walking around alone, but she also worked 2 jobs and couldn't pick me up most days. If I got home before 5 and didn't talk to strangers, she didn't ask too many questions. I kept my phone on 50% brightness to save battery, pretended like I was grown, and slid my earbuds in like I had somewhere important to be. That McDonald's became my little kingdom. Booth by the window, shoes kicked off under the table, watching YouTube Vine compilations on my cracked phone while sipping a Sprite like it was champagne. I had just discovered Tumblr that year. I was reposting Melanie Martinez fan edits and thinking I understood what the word aesthetic meant. I was 11 going on 20, or at least I thought I was. That's probably why I didn't think it was weird when he sat near me. He didn't work there. I knew that much. He was too old to be hanging around during school hours and didn't have on a uniform. But the first time, I assumed he was waiting for someone. He had on this navy hoodie, sleeves pushed up, and a raggedy backpack next to him like he also just got out of school. He looked maybe 17, 18 at the oldest, with a face like he'd just started growing into it. Tall white boy, deep voice. He looked like one of those SoundCloud emo rapper dudes. "You draw?" he asked, nodding at my sketchbook. I shrugged, trying to act unbothered. "Kinda," I said. "Not like for real for real." "You got talent," he said, and I felt my chest puff up just a little. Nobody ever said stuff like that to me, especially not older boys. School, most of the guys my age were busy with whatever the popular trends were back then. This one, he looked me in the eye when he talked. Made me feel seen. The next time, he was already there. Same booth, same backpack, same easy smile when I walked in. "You again," he said. "You following me or something?" I laughed, a little too loud. He always knew what to say to make me feel grown. He'd ask about school, about my drawings, about music. Then he started asking other stuff. Like what my background was, what kind of guys I liked. Said I didn't talk like the other black girls he knew, whatever that meant. I didn't even know how to respond to that one. But still I came back. Week after week. Sometimes twice a week if I had extra change. And he was always there. Like it was planned. The first few weeks, the conversations felt like a secret game. He'd show up at McDonald's like clockwork, sometimes early afternoon, sometimes after school, and we'd talk about everything but what I was really thinking about. I liked how he made me feel special. Like I was this rare thing, not just a kid with a happy meal and a sketchbook, but someone worth paying attention to. When he asked for my number, I thought, this is it. I'm officially grown. I still remember the moment I handed him my phone, watching him punch in the digits. Felt thrilling, like I was stepping into a world I wasn't supposed to know about yet. My fingers brushed the screen, hesitated for a second, then I pressed send on the first text I ever wrote to him. "Hey, it's me." His reply came almost immediately. "You cute. You always gonna be my favorite artist." That first text stayed with me for days. I showed it to my best friend like it was a badge of honor. "He thinks I'm cool," I told her, my voice a little higher than usual. "He really listens." She shrugged, told me to be careful, but I didn't want to hear it. Middle school kids always try to act like they're grown anyway. Everybody's pretending. I was just pretending better. Sometimes he'd ask me stuff that felt off, but he always said it like it was a joke, so I played along. Like out of nowhere, he'd be like, "Do you say the N-word? Be real." Or, "What would you do if someone called you that at school?" And then one day he asked, "So can I get an N-word pass? You cool like that, right?" I remember laughing, but not because it was funny, more like I didn't know what else to do. Then he hit me with, "I'll trade you $5 and a Sprite if you be my personal slave for a day." And when I froze a little, he was like, "Chill, I'm joking." Damn, you sensitive. He'd sometimes try to talk hood around me too, saying stuff like "on gang" or "Yo, you trying to wild out" in this fake deep voice that didn't even sound like him. At the time, I didn't know what the hell he was on. But looking back now, he was testing me. Texts started innocent. "What you drawing now? Did you finish your homework? You watching that new Stranger Things?" He even sent me links to music, playlists he said reminded him of me. But over time, things got a little different. A little heavier. He'd ask stuff that made me pause, questions about my body, if I'd started changing yet, who I liked, if anyone had kissed me. I felt weird, but also proud to answer. Like I was a grown woman sharing secrets with a friend. Sometimes I'd get texts when I was supposed to be asleep. "Bet you look good in your PJs. You staying up late just thinking about me?" I told myself it was a joke. That he was just being funny. It was part of the game. I was learning the rules. I wanted to be in on it. Through all, kids at school were trading stories about boys and crushes like it was some kind of competition. I didn't want to be the only one who'd never been talked to like that. But even then, there were moments when my stomach flipped. When he asked if I started growing hair yet, or sent me a picture of his hand gripping a pillow. I didn't know what to say, so I didn't say anything. I didn't want to lose him. And besides, I thought I was grown enough to handle it. I thought I knew what I was doing. Still, I kept going to McDonald's, even on days I didn't have much money. Sometimes I'd sit farther away, pretending not to notice him watching me. I told myself I was just being cautious. I told myself I was in control. But the truth was, it was getting harder to breathe when he was around. Like the air was thicker, heavier, and I didn't know how to make it stop. It wasn't like I told my mom about any of it. I knew she wouldn't understand. She was busy with work, with bills, with trying to keep everything together. And I was supposed to be a kid, not dealing with this stuff. So I kept it all inside, tucked away under layers of laughs and texts and drawings. Looking back now, I can see the signs I missed. The way his smile sometimes didn't reach his eyes. The way his questions stopped being about me and started being about control. But back then, I was 11 and I thought I was grown. And that was my mistake. I thought blocking his number would end it. When my mom found the text, she didn't scream or curse like I thought she would. She just stared at me, emotionless. Then she said real quiet, "You block that boy. Don't answer. Don't go back there. Understand me?" I nodded. She didn't say anything else. Just walked out the room and left me sitting there with my heart pounding and my phone locked in her hand. I told her I'd stop going to McDonald's. And for a while I did. I stayed home after school, watched anime reruns on my tablet, sketched in silence. My bestie kept texting me to hang out, but I kept saying no. I wanted to be good, I really did. But something about the quiet made me feel itchy. I missed the way he made me feel seen. Like I wasn't just some awkward kid with Velcro sneakers, I missed the attention. even if the words were weird sometimes, even if the questions made my stomach twist. So one Friday when my mom had a double shift, I walked back to the McDonald's. I told myself I wasn't gonna talk to him. I'd just sit, eat, leave. That was it. I had $10 from babysitting my cousin the weekend before. I ordered a Happy Meal, even though I told myself I wasn't a little kid anymore. Just felt safe, familiar. He was already inside. Same hoodie. Same old backpack. Same smile, but it didn't look soft this time. It looked sharp. He watched me sit down in the booth by the window like he'd been waiting. I thought he'd maybe give me a nod from across the room. Instead, he walked straight over and slid in next to me. Next to me. Not across. Right there on the same side, his body pressed against mine. I stiffened, staring at the tray in front of me, my hand shaking a little as I opened the tiny milk jug. "You've been avoiding me," he said, low and flat. I tried to laugh. "Nah, I've just been busy. Homework and stuff." He didn't laugh back. Instead, his leg pressed harder against mine, and I could feel how much taller, how much bigger he was. He was taking up all the space. I suddenly felt how small my arms were. How my hoodie sleeves still bunched up at the wrists because I hadn't hit that growth spurt yet. I wasn't grown. I wasn't even close. He leaned in, hot-ass breath hitting my face. "I thought you were different," he said. "I thought you could handle grown-up things. But you just like the rest of them little girls." Scared. My whole body went still. Then, without warning, he put his hand on my thigh hard. He gripped it tight, his fingers digging in like he was trying to leave a mark. I winced, but I didn't say anything. My whole brain just shut off. He wasn't looking at me anymore. Just staring straight ahead, his fingers still pressing into the soft part above my knee. "I thought you were actually mature," he said, almost like he was sad. Guess I was wrong. I don't even remember standing up. I just remember the sound of the tray clattering to the floor, my fries spilling under the table, the little toy bouncing out of the box and rolling near his foot. I didn't stop to grab it. I didn't look back. I walked out the front door like I had somewhere to be, then ran the second my feet hit the sidewalk. I didn't cry until I got home. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my friend. I just went straight to my room, curled under the blanket, and felt my thigh throbbing where his fingers had been. After that, I didn't go anywhere but school and home. Even walking past that McDonald's made my stomach twist. That Friday was the last time I tried to act grown. It was the last time I let myself believe I was in control. Looking back now, he saw me alone. He saw how eager I was to be taken seriously. How easy it was to plant compliments like seeds and watch them grow into something he could use. And I gave him room. I let him sit next to me. I laughed when he said creepy things. I answered texts I didn't know how to read right. But I was 11. I just knew I wanted to feel special. And he knew exactly how to use that. I think about that grip on my thigh more than I want to admit. Not because it hurt, but because it changed something in me. That moment snapped the fantasy clean in half. I wasn't grown. I was a little girl in a hoodie too big and a heart too soft to carry the weight he put on it. I remember how fast the fear came rushing in, how fake all the flirting felt after that. I remember the silence afterward. Kind that sticks to you. Now that I'm 21, I catch myself watching girls like I used to be. Sitting at McDonald's, earbuds in, doodling on napkins, thinking they've got it all figured out. And I want to tell them, baby, you don't. That's not your fault. It's his. The older boy who keeps showing up where you feel safe. The one who talks to you like you're different. Like you're smarter than everyone else. Like he's doing you a favor just by paying attention. That boy doesn't think you're special. He thinks you're easy to fool. I'm not ashamed of being that little girl anymore. I was soft and bright and curious, and he mistook all that for permission. But I'm angry for her. I wish somebody had caught me walking into that McDonald's and told me to go home. I wish I had believed my mom the first time. I wish I had known that no grown man should ever have been paying that much attention to a kid. To the high school boy who saw a little girl and thought she was something to play with, let's not ever meet again. What do you think of this story? Let me know in the comments below.